Open.
All right.
Those small ones are open?
Recorders on.
Yeah, press yours. Yes, it's okay. Yeah, good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the press, and welcome to today's press statement on promoting responsible use of social media in South Sudan. Media Authority has observed with great concern a traveling trend in the misuse of social media platform to spread misinformation and disinformation, creating unnecessary panic and fear among the public. Every time we pick up our telephones to share a message on social media, we make a choice. That choice can either strengthen or weaken the social fabric of our society. Social media, while a powerful tool for connection and expression, has become a double-edged sword, transforming from a simple communication medium into a potential vehicle for hate speech, propaganda, misinformation, and disinformation in South Sudan. The spread of misinformation and disinformation on social media platforms has caused waves of unnecessary panic and fear among our people. This must be discouraged, and it is a collective responsibility for all of us. Let us be clear: the right to freedom of expression, as enshrined in Article 24 of our transitional constitution, guarantees every citizen the freedom of expression, reception, and dissemination of information. With this freedom, however, comes an equally important responsibility. To our politicians and religious leaders, your words carry immense weight. When you speak, people listen. We urge you to use this influence wisely and responsibly, to unite rather than divide, to heal rather than harm. The power of your position demands the wisdom to distinguish between constructive criticism and inflammatory rhetoric. To our media houses, you are the guardians of truth in our society. Your crucial role in verifying information and maintaining journalistic integrity cannot be overstated. In an era where false information can spread at the click of a button, your commitment to fact-checking and responsible reporting serves as the first line of defense against misinformation. To our civil society organization, your role as watchdog of democracy is respected and valued. However, we must be cautious not to amplify divisive political statements that could incite violence. Instead, let us focus on building bridges, living peacefully together, and fostering dialogue. To every citizen with a smartphone or social media account, you are an influencer in your own right. The rapid growth of social media usage in South Sudan over the last 3 years means that your post, circulation, and comments have real-world implications. We must verify information before sharing it. Our legally recognized media houses are the primary sources of credible information in South Sudan. Before you share that forwarded message or post that story, you ask yourself, is this from a reliable source? Am I contributing to truth or spreading misinformation? The Media Authority urges all citizens to rely on legally recognized media houses in South Sudan for credible information. These institutions work tirelessly to verify facts and maintain journalistic integrity. Media houses are encouraged to continue with their diligent work in verifying information before publication. Your role in maintaining the authenticity of news is paramount. The Media Authority advises the government to ensure timely dissemination of authentic, credible information to prevent the spread of misinformation. This is not just about controlling information, it is about protecting our national harmony and unity. The Media Authority, as a bridge for building healthy relationships among media stakeholders, remains steadfast in its commitment to promoting freedom of expression while ensuring that freedom is exercised responsibly. We are not here to restrict your voice, but to ensure that it contributes to tranquility and progress rather than chaos or conflict. Remember, South Sudan's strength lies in its unity. Our diversity is our beauty, and our ability to live harmoniously is our greatest asset. Let us use social media to showcase the best of our nation, our resilience, our culture, our achievement, and our unwavering spirit. As we move forward, let us embrace the culture of peace and tolerance. Let every click, every share, and every post reflect our commitment to building a prosperous South Sudan. Our country's future depends not just on the decision made in government offices, but on the daily choices made by each of us on our social media platforms. Together, we can transform social media from a potential source of division into a powerful tool for national development and unity. The choice and the responsibility lie with each of us. Thank you, and may God bless the Republic of South Sudan. This is the end of our press statement of today on the responsible use of social media in South Sudan. Any comment, question is welcome. Thank you.
My name is Simon Deng. I work for the Dawn newspaper. Simon Deng, the Dawn newspaper.
Yes.
Of course, thank you for updating the public and advising the public or the social media users on what to do when it comes to these issues of hate speech. Actually, this is one of the things that we have observed. You can find information online. When you try to verify as a reporter, you find that it is fake, but people are panicking outside there. So, as a regulatory body, having observed that social media platform, have you got the statistics or some of the examples of the information, misinformation that have been floating online in recent days?
Yeah. Call me Deng Achol. I work for SSBC. Mine is also in line with my colleague asked the question before. Honorable Elijah, I want you to know, what are you responding in this particular press list? Is there a trend, like what Deng asked? Because we need to be clear. What are you responding? Because there has been a lot of misinformation on social media and everywhere, and you have been keeping quiet. What intended you this time to respond? What are you responding particularly? Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, my name is William Adok. I work for Number One Citizen newspaper.
William Adwok.
Yes. My question is, in some of the countries, there are always the guidelines and rules and policies that you follow. Whenever you go astray against those regarded guidelines, there are action to be taken against such individuals. As a media authority and regulated body for these social medias, what are the measures that you will take against people who spread misinformation, fake news, and hate speech?
Yeah, Kongpal Chan from iRadio. My question is close to what you have just say it, but I will look at what remedy are you having to address. I know you may take action, but what remedy are you giving to this trend where social media is also fake news and all those things? Is there anything you are doing with working on with the National Communication Authority, that is a regulating body that regulates internet and all those things? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, let me start with the question from Don in regard to the statistic about misinformation, whether we have such a statistic in place. As media authority, we monitor the media from time to time. And if you could see the social media trend for the last 3 years, you as Dawn or any other paper, you can be able to attest your listeners from last 3 years, they were not the same as the listeners you get today. The moment you post a article or any news online, you could be able to see responses compared to the other years. So this is only for your followers, but it seems a number of social users currently it has really increased. And also at the same time, this trend, we did not carry out that survey, but based on the monitoring that we are doing, the increase is very high, especially last year and this year. So in this regard, most of the people who find themselves in social media, they don't know the principle of sharing information on social media. It's only the media houses who have the responsibility to ensure this information going to the public must meet the public interest. And that's why you always pay that due diligent action when addressing issues of misinformation. And what about those who are not familiar on addressing these issues? This is where they become concerned. So the statistic that we get through the monitoring that we are doing as media authority, because every morning we have to go online. Every morning we have to see the papers. And in this regards, it has increased to the number compared with the number of last year. If I go to social media, for example, iRadio, I go to the social media of iRadio today. The social media platform of iRadio today compared with the 2001 is completely different. The moment the news are read from iRadio, they are picked by different people and keep on circulating. So that shows itself the increase. But we need to measure this increment. And this one needs resources also at the same time. But we have to do what we can be able to achieve within the limit resources that we have. And it is really good that the issue of statistics is really very important, and especially for our partners who can be able to help. This will be the right time for us to measure exactly the use of social media in South Sudan. So in this situation, it has a lot of implication, and it contributes to everything that we are doing, whether development, whether the government, whether in the communities, it has an impact. And this impact cannot just be left open. We have to take the responsibility as media authority, and it is a collective responsibility because it's not only affecting the media, it is affecting everybody, whether government, humanitarian, or the public. So the moment you find unhealthy information online, it really distorts what it means. Coming to SSBC Media Authority responding, is there a specific misinformation why we are responding today? It is our responsibility as media authority. The moment we observe there is such a trend, then it is our responsibility to provide guidance. It is our responsibility to advise even the government. You as media houses, you have already experienced, and even in the government, even individual, they have issues to do with the social media. You have been seeing government responding to rumors being circulated in social media. You have also seen media houses responding for those who are impersonating the information, or those who are working with the with the traditional media that we are currently having. So it is real. It is not something imaginary. And this is the starting point. When we come out as media authority and issue this statement, it means that we have to be keen in addressing this issue. Issues of defamation, they have been rampant on social media. And you know defamation, in our law, it is defined as a criminal case and a civil case at the same time. There are influx of defamation always coming from attorney to media authority to help them determine whether this information constitutes defamation or not. And we always been giving advice on what to do. And those who seek mediation, most of the time we do them as media authority. And these issues are always amicably addressed. Some affect some of you in media houses, with the public, and even you as individual working, and you have experienced how we have been handling these cases. So defamation as an issue, and it is have a right channel. Some of the people have got arrest warrant in their absentia. So you can see that. So the law is being applied wherever it is appropriate. So, but the issue of misinformation, it causes panic and fear among the population when the political environment has an issue. And this issue, this is where we have to provide the guidance. So we are responding to current rumors, fake news, misinformation, and disinformation that are currently ongoing. You have issues like we have Tumaini initiative. If you monitor that Tumaini initiative alone, on daily basis, you will find wealth of information circulating online, and it will be difficult for you to differentiate which one is reliable. So this is why we are encouraging the public to rely only on legal recognized media houses for credible information, because they spend a lot of time verifying this information. So in this situation, this is where we will be safe from misinformation. So any information that you get, please verify. That is the only thing. Public to verify, media houses to verify before they release the information. So we are responding to the current trend. If you go on social media, especially as media authority, we have observed from Friday to Saturday and Sunday, you will find so many. And then on Monday, they die down. And then toward weekend, because the offices are not working for you to verify. So this is one of the areas. But how can we stop it? It is to equip you with the information. And that will enable you to do the right thing, but not to be overtaken by the social media misinformation and disinformation. When it comes to number one, citizen, on the rule or guideline or the measures that we need to take to tackle this misinformation, I think the writing on the wall is very clear in the media authority. As a regulatory body, we have the capacity to act. The capacity, I'm talking in terms of laws and rules and regulation that we have laid down. And in most cases, when such thing happen, before we apply, and when we are going to be in position, it is good for us to put you in picture. This thing must be discouraged, this issue of misinformation. I believe together we can be able to achieve this. Some days back from 2016, we were having issues to do with the hate speech. What happened today? They become minimum, simply because it was a collective responsibility from all of us in your various capacity to address these issues of hate speech. Because those days, reporting was on tribal lines, on ethnicity, but there are no reports in our media, whether domestic or international media. This is simply because it is a commitment from all of us. Therefore, this issue of misinformation and disinformation also can be addressed. It is an issue affecting all, even the government. And that's the reason in the press statement today, we are urging and advising the government for timely dissemination to avoid this spread of hate speech. This is the starting point. So where you leave the vacuum, this is where the others come in. Timely dissemination of information that is credible in the public interest is really encouraged, especially on the side of the government. So as media houses also, you have your own role. The public also, they have their own role, because everybody now is an influencer in its own right online. But you have to be very cautious not to disseminate information that affect our peaceful environment. Coming to iRadio, what are the remedies to social media use and the collaboration with other stakeholders, specifically with the National Communication Authority? Yeah, you are right, simply because National Communication Authority deal with the medium where you are using this communication, and as media authority, we deal with the content that you are disseminating. Therefore, this medium that is being used to spread this misinformation and disinformation, we are working together with the National Communication Authority to find the best way we can be able to address. One of the challenges is the infrastructure that we have cannot be able to enable us do the needful. But the National Communication Authority are currently working very hard to ensure this issue of the social media can be addressed. As media authority, we require all the other stakeholders that can contribute to ensure the spread of misinformation or disinformation, or our public get healthy information from media houses. We will be able to emphasize this much from them. So in this regards, the use of social media in the Republic of South Sudan is getting into a different direction than the intended way it is used for communication. So with this regard, the remedy, if it means developing extra guideline to specifically address the social media, we will be able to do it. And then working with the stakeholders is the high priority. As media authority, we are working with other stakeholders. I don't want to preempt because we were talking of social media here. As the country prepare for general election, and you have got in the media some days back or some months back that we are working on the media communication strategy for general election. This media communication strategy is going to involve so many guidelines. And this guideline, one of them will be the use of social media. So we are working on it, but until the time comes, then we will be able to bring it to your attention. Thank you.
Thank you.
We have the last question.
Yeah.
Recently, when the SPLM was responding to some of misinformation, there is a concern that if this misinformation persists, they will shut down the social media. We want to know, as a regulatory body, will you encourage such?
I like the way you put it. You are putting it as SPLM party. We are talking as a regulator. The SPLM party, they don't have the capacity to control the media. There are government institutions, there are institutions tasked with this role. And it is you to understand your role very well. So in these regards, yeah, they can issue any statement. And this is one of the issue here, if you get it here, the politician and to religious leaders. As they are influencers, they speak to people and people listen to them. But we urge them to do what?
Be mindful about it.
Yeah, to be mindful. Simply because they have to differentiate the constructive criticism and inflammatory rhetoric. Therefore, when issues of responsibility come in, issues to do with the media, they lies only with the media authority. And all the other stakeholders or any government institution should work with the media authority. Our laws do not encourage political parties to own media, but they can use the platform of the media. So the statement was issued, but they need guidance in that situation. You as media also, you remember some years back, was it last year or this beginning of this year, when it was issued in the parliament that, what did they say? That they will close the media houses. What happened? Do you need to come to media authority that you have been told to close? Yeah, you were having the right and you are equipped that it is not your right to close the media house. And we know where the media house can be closed. And you responded that time and it was well understood. So you have to stand your ground, that is what I can tell you. The freedom of expression and the independence of the media is granted to you by the Constitution, and it is you to exercise this right within the limit of the law. The moment you go astray, that is why we always call you and discuss some of the issues. But it is not given in a golden plate. It is you to exercise that right. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable.
Yes, sorry.
You-